Hey Monk fans! Welcome back to our channel, the go-to place for all things Monk-related. Today, we're delving into a more somber topic as we pay tribute to some of the talented actors from the iconic TV series Monk, who are no longer with us. While we reminisce about the incredible performances that brought the show to life, it's important to remember and honor the legacy of those who contributed so much to the world of entertainment. So grab a tissue, hit that like button, and let's take a respectful journey down memory lane. Before we dive in, make sure you've subscribed to our channel and turned on the notification bell so you never miss any Monk-related updates and tributes. Now, without further ado, let's remember and celebrate the actors from Monk who left an indelible mark on the show and in our hearts. Join us as we pay homage to these talented individuals who brought joy and laughter to our screens. Stanley Kamel. Stanley Kamel portrayed Dr. Charles Kroger, serving as Monk's therapist throughout the initial 6 seasons of the series. His final on-screen appearance occurs in Mr. Monk Paints His Masterpiece. On April 8, 2008, Kamel was discovered deceased from a heart attack at his residence in Hollywood Hills. He was 65. The inaugural episode of Monk's 7th season, titled Mr. Monk Buys a House, was dedicated to honoring Kamel's memory. The episode featured a reference to his character's demise from a heart attack. Concluding the episode, a poignant close-up showcased a photograph of Kamel as Dr. Kroger on Monk's fireplace mantel. Kamel, who never entered matrimony and had no offspring, left an enduring impact on the show. Born into a Jewish family and raised in South River, New Jersey, Kamel attended Rutgers Preparatory School and graduated with a BFA from Boston University in 1965. Commencing his acting journey off-Broadway, he ventured into television with a role in Days of Our Lives, 1972-76, embodying the character Eric Peters as the second actor in the role. Kamel initiated his television presence in 1968, engaging in numerous episodic roles across decades. His versatile career encompassed appearances in The Mod Squad, Barney Miller, Kojak, Lou Grant, Quincy M.E., Hill Street Blues, L.A. Law, Murder, She Wrote, Cagney and Lacey, Matlock, Hooperman, Father Dowling. Mysteries, Star Trek, The Next Generation, Scarecrow and Mrs. King, The Nanny, and The Lazarus Man. In 1994, he held a recurring position on Melrose Place as Bruce Teller, the CEO of D&D Advertising, where characters Amanda, Heather Locklear, and Allison, Courtney Thorne-Smith, were employed. During the initial segment of Beverly Hills 90210's 6th season, Kamel featured in multiple episodes as Anthony Marchette, a figure associated with organized crime. Glenne Headley. On Monk, Glenne Headley portrayed the character Karen Stottlemyre. Headley passed away due to complications from a pulmonary embolism on June 8, 2017, at 62 years old in Santa Monica, California. Born on March 13, 1955, in New London, Connecticut, her early years were spent under the care of her mother, Joan Ida Headley, in San Francisco, and her maternal grandmother in Lansford, Pennsylvania. During her primary school years, she joined her mother, then residing in Greenwich Village. She studied ballet at the Robert Joffrey School of Ballet and pursued modern dance at the Martha Graham Studios. In New York, she attended public schools, including PS 41, where she was enrolled in a class for intellectually gifted children. It was there that a 5th-grade teacher introduced her to Jacques Cousteau's work in an oceanography class, sparking a lifelong interest in preserving the natural world. Later, she attended the High School of Performing Arts, majoring in drama and graduating with honors. While performing in the Chicago stage production of Curse of the Starving class, Headley was invited to join the Steppenwolf Theater Ensemble, which was expanding. She also participated in various other productions, receiving 5 Joseph Jefferson Award nominations in Chicago and winning 3 for Best Supporting Actress. Her Actors Equity card was obtained when cast by Vivian Matalon in a summer theater production of Charlie's Aunt, and she joined SAG when Arthur Penn created a breakout role for her in the film Four Friends. On August 2, 1982, Hedley married fellow ensemble member John Malkovich. Soon after, she replaced Ellen Barkin in Extremities off-Broadway. She was then cast in The Philanthropist, also off-Broadway, and received a Theatre World Award for Best Newcomer. In New York, she appeared in Balm in Gilead with her fellow Steppenwolf theater members, and in Arms and the Man on Broadway with Kevin Kline and Raul Julia. Warren Beatty cast Hedley as Tess Trueheart in Dick Tracy. She went on to star with Demi Moore and Bruce Willis in Mortal Thoughts, directed by Alan Rudolph. In 1992, she worked on a small Canadian film called Ordinary Magic, where, on the first day of filming, she met her future husband, Byron McCulloch, whom she married in 1993. She also co-starred with Ted Danson and Macaulay Culkin in the 1994 comedy Getting Even with Dad. In 2001, Hedley took on the role of Angela Kennedy Lipsky in the debut of My Brilliant Divorce at the Druid Theatre in Galway, Ireland. In 2003, she featured alongside David Hyde Pierce in The Guys as part of a rotating ensemble at the Actors Gang in Los Angeles. She also participated in Malkovich's staging of Shaw's Arms and The Man, alongside Kevin Kline at New York City's Circle in the Square Uptown. In 2012, Hedley assumed the character of Eva White in the Geffen Playhouse's rendition of The Jacksonian, penned by Beth Henley. In 2016, once again gracing the Geffen Playhouse stage, Hedley took the lead in Sarah Ruhl's Stage Kiss. Janet Wright. Janet Wright portrayed the character of Bonnie in the Monk TV show. Wright passed away on the morning of November 14, 2016, in Vancouver, at the age of 71, due to undisclosed causes. Born in Farnborough, Hampshire, England, Wright grew up as the eldest among 4 siblings, all actively engaged in Canadian theatre. She, along with her sister Susan, co-established the Persephone Theatre Company in Saskatoon in 1974. Brian Richmond, Wright's first husband, assumed the role of the theater's director. Later in her career, Wright contributed to the Vancouver Arts Club Theatre, participating in and directing over 40 productions. Her theatrical journey extended to various live performances across Canada and at the Stratford Festival in Ontario, paving the way for her involvement in television and film projects in both Canada and the United States. In 1991, she garnered positive reviews for her performance in Les Belles Sœurs at the Stratford Festival alongside her sisters Anne and Susan. A notable accomplishment came in 1995 when she became the first woman to play the title role in King Lear, presented by Canadian Stage in Toronto. Her film work, particularly in Bordertown Café, earned her a Genie Award for Best Actress in 1992. The Gemini Awards recognized her as the Best Supporting Actress in a Dramatic Program or miniseries for her role in Betrayed in 2003. From 2004 to 2009, Wright took on the role of Emma Leroy in the television series Corner Gas. Her portrayal earned her the 2006 Canadian Comedy Award for Pretty Funny TV Female, and the show itself secured a Gemini Award in 2007. While sustaining her association with the Vancouver Arts Club Theatre, she directed contemporary American plays like Katori Hall's The Mountaintop and Ayad Akhtar's Disgraced in 2015. She sporadically returned to acting, including her last appearance in 2011 at the Stratford Festival, where she played Ma Joad in The Grapes of Wrath. Tragedy struck Wright's family when her sister Susan, along with their parents, Jack and Ruth Wright, perished in a fire in 1991 in Stratford, Ontario. In January 2004, Wright's daughter Rachel Davis lost her life while intervening for a stranger being assaulted in front of the Purple Onion Bar in Vancouver, BC. In July 2006, the perpetrator was convicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, and 5 counts of aggravated assault. The first-degree murder conviction mandated a life sentence without parole until 2029. Wright, along with her second husband Bruce Davis and the rest of their family, established the Rachel Davis Foundation. The foundation annually presents an award to a young individual who has demonstrated an outstanding act of kindness or compassion. Kathryn Joosten. In the Monk TV show, Kathryn Joosten takes on the role of Nasa Gordon, the former babysitter. Joosten passed away from lung cancer on June 2, 2012. Her demise occurred just weeks after the on-screen passing from cancer of her Desperate Housewives character, Karen McCluskey. Joosten was born Kathryn Rausch in Chicago, Illinois, to Dutch-German parents. Her initial profession involved working as a psychiatric nurse at Michael Reese Hospital in Chicago, residing in nearby Lake Forest, Illinois, where she wed a psychiatrist and raised 2 sons. Following her divorce in 1980, she delved into acting in community theater in 1982, at the age of 42. In 1992, at 53, she secured employment as a street performer at the Disney MGM Studios theme park at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. In 1995, she relocated to Hollywood, where she assumed guest roles in series like Roseanne, Home Improvement, Picket Fences, Murphy Brown, ER, Seinfeld, Frasier, Just Shoot Me, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dharma and Greg, Las Vegas, and The Drew Carey Show. In a 1997 episode of Frasier, Roz's Turn, Joosten portrayed Vera, the mother and personal secretary of Frasier's scheming agent, Bebe Glazer, embodied by Harriet Sansom Harris. The duo later reunited to play neighboring characters in Desperate Housewives. In 1999, Joosten undertook the role of Mrs. Landingham, personal secretary to President Josiah Bartlet in The West Wing. She portrayed the character for 2 seasons until her fictional demise in a car crash in 2001. Joosten returned to the show twice more in flashback appearances. Her stint on The West Wing opened doors to more substantial guest roles on prominent television series. Joosten held a recurring role on Desperate Housewives as Karen McCluskey. For this portrayal, Joosten clinched 2 Emmy Awards for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series in 2005 and 2008, with subsequent nominations in 2010. She also served as a presenter at the 2005 and 2008 Emmy Awards telecasts. Alongside the rest of the cast, she received Screen Actors Guild Award nominations for Outstanding Performance by an ensemble in a comedy series from 2006 to 2008. Elevated to a member of the regular cast in Season 6, the Emmys continued to categorize her as a guest actress when nominated for the 3rd time for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series at the 2010 Emmys. She garnered a 4th Emmy nomination, this time for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series in 2012. She assumed the role of Aunt Jackie in Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, in 2009. Joosten featured in numerous television advertisements, including those for V8 and Fiber One. During a 2007 appearance on The View, she disclosed that she was in recovery from lung cancer, following many years of continuous smoking. She shared some advice on overcoming the smoking habit. Interestingly, her guest appearances on My Name is Earl and Grey's Anatomy largely center around her character's efforts to quit smoking. In 2001, she kicked her 45-year smoking addiction upon receiving a lung cancer diagnosis. Come September 2009, Joosten faced a second bout of lung cancer. She subsequently underwent surgery and 4 rounds of chemotherapy, receiving a clean bill of health in January 2010. Tony Armatrading. Tony Armatrading made a guest appearance on the Monk TV show as Mr. Franklin. Tony Armatrading, who passed away at 59 due to cancer, was a significant and warm-hearted actor in the second wave of Black British performers who started to make an impact in theater and television in the mid-1970s. Before moving to Los Angeles in 1999, he had 3 active seasons with the Royal Shakespeare Company and made notable contributions to contemporary black theater classics at the Theatre Royal, Stratford East, and the Tricycle in Kilburn. he made his debut cameo role in the BBC's groundbreaking black drama series Empire Road in 1979. His elder sister, Joosten Armatrading, had been asked to record a title song, but the BBC at Pebble Mill in Birmingham couldn't afford her fee. Over lunch with the show's producer, Peter Ansorge, who was struggling to find a teenager for the Blues in the Night episode, she suggested he take a look at her younger brother. On film, he played small but impactful roles in Philip Noyce's The Saint, 1997, starring Val Kilmer as a customs officer, and in Roger Michel's Notting Hill, 1999, as a security guard keeping tabs on Hugh Grant, trying to access the set of a period drama starring Julia Roberts. He embraced the Californian life, the sunshine, and had British friends, Ralph Brown and Jenny Jules, nearby in the hillside neighborhood of Los Feliz. He and Susan acquired U.S. citizenship. Leveraging his RSC experience, he taught Shakespeare at CalArts, California Institute of the Arts, and established a small multimedia company in London with corporate clients. He self-taught computer animation and CGI. He lent his voice to Zalek in the Star Wars video games. His final role was in the rebooted television series of Hawaii Five-0 in 2020. Armatrading delivered a radiant, sharp-witted performance as a salesman-turned-slum landlord, advocating beating the system by joining it. He engaged in ideological conflict with Danny Sapani's heavily politicized laborer, his brother-in-law. On a small stage teeming with 24 actors in Michael Attenborough's finely orchestrated production, alongside Sapani, Jules, Gugumbatha Raw, and Clint Dyer, he truly found himself back where he belonged. He is survived by Suzanne and his siblings, Everett, Carl, Joan, and Andrew. Another sister, Jackie, predeceased him, Makoto Iwamatsu. On Monk TV series, Makoto Iwamatsu portrayed Master Z. Mako, a renowned stage and screen actor widely recognized for paving the way for Asian Americans in movies, television, and theater, passed away on Friday at his residence in Somis, Calif. He was 72. The cause of death was esophageal cancer, as reported by his wife, Shizuko Hoshi. Makoto Iwamatsu was born on Dekinate in October 1933 in Kobe, Japan. During his early childhood, his parents relocated to New York to pursue art studies, leaving Mako in the care of his grandparents. After World War II, he joined his parents in New York. Initially aspiring to become an architect, Mako commenced his studies at the Pratt Institute. The theater's enchanting allure, however, led him astray, causing him to skip classes and subsequently lose his student draft deferment. Following 2 years in the United States Army, he enrolled at the Pasadena Playhouse to study acting. Mako received an Oscar nomination for The Sand Pebbles, 1966, where he starred alongside Steve McQueen. His filmography also includes Conan the Barbarian, 1982, Conan the Destroyer, 1984, 7 Years in Tibet, 1997, Pearl Harbor, 2001, and Memoirs of a Geisha, released last year. Pacific Overtures, Mako's Broadway debut in 1976 at the Winter Garden Theater, narrates Commodore Matthew Perry's American expedition of 1853, re-establishing Japan's contact with the West after over 2 centuries of isolation. In the 1950s and beyond, there were limited roles for Asian actors in American entertainment, often characterized by demeaning stereotypes. Mako, initially cast in small roles on shows like McHale's Navy, 77 Sunset Strip, and I Spy, faced similar challenges. In The Sand Pebbles, he portrayed Po Han, a Chinese coolie speaking broken English. Despite the role's stereotypical constraints, Mako's performance was acclaimed for transcending limitations. In 1965, he co-founded the East-West Players, the nation's inaugural Asian-American repertory company based in Los Angeles, serving as its artistic director until 1989. In 1980, he directed the first two plays on Asian American subjects, produced at the Public Theater in New York, The Music Lessons by Wakako Yamauchi and Phobe by David Henry Hwang. Survived by his wife, an actress, director, dancer, and choreographer, Mako is also survived by their two daughters, Sala Ixman of Hamburg, N.J., and Mimosa Skelton of Camarillo, Caliph, along with a sister, Momoyashima, of Los Angeles, and two grandchildren. While we close this chapter, I want to assure you that the journey doesn't end here. We've got exciting plans and new adventures on the horizon. I've been reading your comments and suggestions, and trust me, your feedback is the compass guiding us forward. But before we say our good BS, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below about your favorite moments from this journey, what you'd love to see more of, or any suggestions you have for the future. Your input shapes the content, and together we're crafting something truly special.